S2000 is going. Roadkill. This is my Honda S2000 that's unfortunately up for sale. Aww. The S2000 has always been a realistic dream car of mine in this rare, rather wild colour spec. You either love it or you hate it. It's a 2002 pre-facelift AP1 with the legendary F20c engine. I wanted a pre-facelift as they are the more raw driving experience, to the point where Honda actually revised a lot of suspension and other components for the facelift and AP2 models to alter the driving characteristics, as the inexperienced drivers were pushing these things hard and inevitably crashing them. I was very intrigued. Obtaining one of my dream cars wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for this beautiful human being. Kyle gave up his Christmas Eve plans to feed my sickness of buying cars I clearly don't need. As if waking up at 4 AM wasn't bad enough, I made Kyle drive over 3 hours there and 3 hours back home. On the evening of Christmas Eve 2021, I took her for a first drive. I've had so much fun in this car and also learned a lot from it. We put the car on a dyno a few times and she once again impressed all involved.
Happy days, yeah. Man, happy days.
But with the amount of questionable cars / projects stacking up on my driveway, it's time for someone else to enjoy this masterpiece. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is true, the S2000 is going. It is now up for sale, and I know a few people have said, oh, you said it was your dream car, you said you'd never get rid of it, now you're getting rid of it straight away. It is my dream car. It is one of many dream cars in my dream spec that is so rare to come by. And I did say it was very much an impulse buy. I never did say I was planning on keeping it. By dream spec, I mean this is the Berlina black or Berlina black. I'm not quite sure how you say it. With the red on red interior that I know is very much Marmite. I know a lot of people love it. A lot of people hate it. I absolutely love it. As far as the S2000 goes, for all the boring specs for people that are looking to buy this thing, I wanted to find, like I said, a dream car of mine. I wanted to find a very good example, and this is what we have here. It's just about to hit 84,000 miles. It has the legendary 2-litre F20c engine, which we'll get more into when we go for a drive in a bit. 6-speed manual, as per all of them, and it really is one of the best gearbox feels on the market today. Very fortunate I get to drive a lot of cars, and they really are one of the best gearbox feels that you can get, shifter feels. I've had this thing on the dyno a few times just to test out a few different things. Completely standard form, it did pull 239.4 brake horsepower, which I was blown away with. It's just had a fresh MOT, absolutely flew through. It has got the 2 original Honda keys with the fobs. I did put a new Varta battery on when I first got it. It's got, I believe, it's got a few years warranty on it now with a quick disconnect, because obviously I very rarely drive this thing, so when I do park it up, I do disconnect the battery. Now, during my very short ownership, as I said, I've owned the car just over a year now. We carried out a full genuine Honda shifter rebuild. We have done a video on that, so you can go and check that out. We also did a oil change at the time using genuine Honda filter with Castrol Edge oil. Also, while we were there, we changed the diff oil, the gearbox oil. I just wanted, I'm sure there's bound to be more people out there like me. Although the owner said, yeah, it's been looked after, it's had the service, I like for peace of mind to do it all myself, so I've changed all the fluids in this that I could. So I used genuine Honda diff oil for the diff and Redline MT90 gearbox oil, which was highly recommended. A common fault on the F20Cs is the tensioner and pulleys. They do tend to rattle a bit and they do give in eventually. We've actually replaced those, so there's no worries there. The only 2 modifications I've done to the car during my ownership is put some BC Racing coilovers. The standard suspension is very good on them, but my God, everyone said to me coilovers and wheels just make them feel so much better, and I could not agree more. Which brings us to the other modification, the 17-inch ultralight F1 wheels with Michelin PS4 tyres. The car rides fantastic on the original 16-inch wheels, which will be included in the sale. With the BC Racing coilovers and the PS4s on 17s, this car handles like you wouldn't believe. Like I said, very fortunate I get to drive a lot of different cars, and the thing that gets me with this is I've never felt a car that's felt so balanced. And I think anyone that's driven an S2000 will know, because they are technically a mid-engine car, front mid-engine car, but the original suspension and the original wheels will be sold with the car if that's your preference. But these cars are all about the drive, so let's jump into this wild interior and go for a drive, shall we? So this is a good time to show the roof. Beautiful. Jumping into the interior, I gotta say this is one of my favourite parts, and like I said, I understand that not everyone likes this. It's not to everyone's taste. The red on red, I think, is a bit crazy, but then the S2000 is a crazy car in general, so why not go all out? You've got the beautiful digital dash there that was inspired by Ayrton Senna's Formula 1 car at the time. Audio controls there, and you have everything is so driver focused in this car. Your climate controls are literally just there, so you've barely got to take your hands off the wheel. The beautiful six-speed manual gearbox that just, after the shifter rebuild, just slots into gear beautifully. I do have the original gear knob as well in the boots. Surprisingly, you've even got a cup holder in here. Got your rear screen defog. Now, although you haven't got any storage here, you have got a comfy leather piece to rest your elbow on that does come in handy. 12-volt socket there. You've got a bit of storage just behind there with the boot release, and even, a lot of people don't realise, there is a secret compartment just in there as well. Electric windows and electric mirrors. There's even an electric window lockout. It's a two-seater sports car. Why you'd have to hate the passenger that much to not let them undo the window when they could probably reach over and press it themselves. Hey ho. Another awesome feature on the S2000s. There's such a driver-focused car that if you are focused on driving, you can turn the CD player off and close the flap, or simply open it up, and there sits the not original Sony Bluetooth stereo. And although this is the pre-facelift AP1, they do come with a heated glass rear screen for the soft top as well. Now, if you're sat there wondering why on earth am I taking an S2000 out in this beautiful weather, only I would choose to sell a two-seater convertible January/February time, but hey ho, we have to deal with what we have to deal with, because after this drive it is coming off the road. Now, I have to say, the only reason I am selling this car, it is my dream car, and if I had the space and the money, would I keep it? Hell yes, I would. This car really has made an impression on me. I'm in the process of building a boosted UNOS, and I've got an MX-5 sat there, as well as a very temperamental X-Type Jag Daily. This car just does not get used. The one thing I will say, for those who've never driven an S2000, is particularly the pre-facelift AP1, they do have some certain characteristics that do take some getting used to the point where I actually got in touch with Dan Lawrence, Sean at Auto Performance, who actually did the alignment and installed the coilovers for me. I mentioned there was the on and off throttle on these can be quite snappy and quite jerky, to the point where I thought there was something wrong. To me, I thought there was an engine mount loose or something like that. He said it is completely normal. So it's just little characteristics like that you have to get used to with the S2000. But you'll notice all the little quirks just make sense when you start pushing this thing through corners, because the balance is absolutely phenomenal. So as you can see there, this thing pulls so strong. VTEC engages exactly how it should. It revs happily all the way to 9,000. The linear power delivery on these is just unreal. The people mock them for the lack of torque, and as I've said in many videos before, if you believe that, then you just simply do not know how to get the most out of these engines. Whoa, roadkill. That's something I will never get bored of. Also, the rev matching in this thing, because of the light flywheel, the absolute response of that 2-litre engine, heel towing is just so pleasurable in this car. Now, Dan Lawrence, our guru, our S2000 guru, he actually takes this on track, and I've been lucky enough to go on track with him, and that thing is an absolute weapon. Okay, so I go weeks without driving this car, and I look at it and I think, oh, it's a beautiful car, but yes, it's time to get rid of it. And then I drive it and I just think, what am I doing? And the amount of people who have messaged me or said to me in person, they cannot believe that I'm selling an S2000 to build an MX-5. Now, for those that know me, I've already explained the MX-5 or the UNOS now. Don't know which one I'm going to go with, but I'm building a track car. These cars are getting so expensive and so sought after that I haven't got the guts or the wallet to take it on track. So that's the main reason. Like I said in the before, clear speed bumps, lovely, even at this beautiful ride height. The rain has just stopped, and the beauty is with these cars, if you're a child like me and you fancy having a little bit of fun, you can simply remove the airbox, which I don't usually recommend because you get this strange howling sound that is normal for the S2000s. Anyone running an induction kit will agree. But it then makes the car sound like this. So if you don't fancy running an induction kit, I found that's a little cheat code for the S2000s. You can literally take the lid off and just have a bit of fun. And then when you want to put it back to normal, it just clicks back into place. Oh, and you get to hear that crossover. Never get bored of that. If you have any questions regarding the S2000, please feel free to drop me a message. For now, thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We will see you in the next one.